Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and start. So 1 second. Here you go. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So sorry. So I'll start by a little introduction about myself, so you guys know who I am. So for those of you that know me, great to see you again. And those of you that don't, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Pablo Gomez, and I am the owner of the Gomez Group at Lifestyle International Realty. I have sold religiously for the last 6 years, anything between 35 to 45 properties every single year. That's just my own production, only based on listings. That's not counting buyers and off-market properties. Um, I also am a lender with Columbus Capital, and I manage the office of Kendall within Lifestyle International Realty. Aside from that, I also have a special certification. I am the 103 certified divorce real estate expert here in Miami-Dade County. And what that means is that I have a special training and continue to go through special training to be able to handle the sale of real property in high conflict and low conflict divorce cases as it pertains to real estate. And aside from that, I am a father. I have two beautiful kids. That's the reason why I work so hard, why I do the things I do, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's a little bit about myself. I love playing golf. That's what I do in my off time. I also got into running. I ran half a marathon on Sunday, so I'm also getting into that. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Um, Today we are going to speak about scripts. Okay, scripts are extremely important when it comes to real estate because it's how we communicate with our clients and how we get to close the deal, right? So I don't have any fancy presentation, guys. I'm not gonna be pulling up a PowerPoint and tell you, and show you slide by slide. That's not the way that I like to do my trainings. The way that I like to do my trainings are hands-on. So I am going to be, especially in a script training. I need to mute some of you guys, and we're going to do a little bit of role play. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Don't worry. But it's I need you guys to get out of your comfort zone. I believe that most of you have heard this quote that says that if you are comfortable, you're not growing. If you are comfortable, you're done. So we have to put ourselves every single day in an uncomfortable position to be able to grow. So I need you guys to leave your ego aside, your embarrassment aside. We are only here. We're the only ones that are here, and I got you guys, and I want you guys to get the most out of this training. So I'm gonna go over the script first. We're gonna do a little bit of role playing, and I'm gonna talk about two different scripts pretty much. So I'm gonna talk about seller scripts, right? How to target it for sale by owner, unexpired, how to like get the appointment, the listing appointment to close the deal. And I'm also going to talk on how to speak with your buyers. Right now, we have to shift, right? So right now, we're in a buyer's market. And if we're in a buyer's market, we have to make that shift and start targeting buyers, not neglecting sellers, but we have to also, not neglect our buyers. Because right now, if you have a buyer, you probably, you have more of a chance than getting the deal closed rather than doing a listing where most of them are just sitting. Although the market is picking up, but most of them are just sitting. There's a lot of inventory. So, I early in my career, I understood one thing, right? So yes, people tell you join a team. People will tell you do this, do X, Y, Z, hire an assistant, blah blah blah. I don't understand. Sorry, why this is zooming into me so much. 1 second. Let me fix the settings here. Okay, I think that should be better. Okay, so I understood one thing very early on in my career, and I want to let you guys know exactly what I learned. Okay, your job as a real estate agent is not to do social media. It's not to write up contracts. It's not to, um, you know, have the fancy CRM, have the fancy systems, reply to emails right away. All of that is good, right? All of that is part of being a real estate agent. But the main goal is to bring in business to your business. If you don't wake up every single day and you with the mentality, hey, where's my next deal going to come from? How am I going to get my next deal? Then you're doing it wrong. You have to understand that if you're not feeding your business, your business is dying. Think about it this way. So in a dealership, in the service side of a dealership, there is a mechanic and there is a manager. There's a reason for that, right? So the manager is responsible for bringing in business, promotions, marketing, bringing in business. And the mechanic is the one that does the oil change, the tire rotation, the actual labor. So you have to put yourself in a position, maybe some of you are not, but you have to put yourself in a position where your business dictates for you to hire an assistant. And you'll know because once you can't answer your emails on time, once you see that you're losing deals, and this is when you actually know that you lose a deal because of lack of follow-up, because of lack of time. And at that moment, you have to realize I need to delegate. I need to be able to hire an assistant where she will be responsible for everything that has to do with administration. So contracts, emails, everything that you have to do on a desk, because those are zero income activities in your business. And the more time you spend writing up a contract, the more time you spend writing up an email and replying to the title company, replying to the lender, that's going to take away time from what's important, and it's to feed your business. That's why you see agents that yo-yo, right? They have good months, then they have bad months, then they have good months, and they have bad months. It shouldn't be like that. Real estate should be predictable, right? You should be able to know how many hours do I need to put in on a daily basis, how many contacts do I need to speak with on a daily basis to be able to achieve my goal at the end of the year. Okay. So the sooner you understand that, the sooner you comprehend that, and you make that switch in your brain, is when you are really going to start closing in business. Now, scripts are only to practice. I do not want any of you to read scripts while you are talking to your client. That is not the time. 1 second. Okay. That is not the time to start practicing or to start reading, because they'll catch on, right? So what I'm going to teach you today, I need you to grab it and I need you to train on it. Typically, what I recommend, if you're going to get into cold calling or scripts and all that stuff, the scripts that I'm going to provide to you today, I need you to go home, pick up a partner, can be a family member, a friend, or a colleague, and I need you to call them every single day for 10 to 15 minutes, and you are going to role play with them for the next 30 days. So you're going to memorize the script. If you have to write it 100 times, you do so. You're going to then call that person and you're going to role play with that person. You guys are not going to talk about anything else. You're going to call, hey, how are you? We're doing good. And you get into the scripts. Why? Because practice makes perfect, and perfect practice makes perfect. So you need to understand that it's just practicing. You need to practice how to handle objections. You need to practice how to handle scripts. The objections part. Understand that objections are going to come. New objections are going to come. Let them come to you. If you mess up, that's fine. And just make sure that you practice it. And when it comes back again, you know how to answer them. Okay? So, all right. So let's go into the scripts. Let me show you guys real quick. 1 second. Let me share my screen. Share. There you go. Okay. Perfect. So the first script we're going to discuss is the for sale by owner script. Okay. For sale by owners are the low hanging fruit. All right. So those are literally sorry, they are literally easy to get. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask a questions to everyone that is here. Okay. I need you guys to put it in the chat. Okay. You don't have to tell me, just put it in the chat. Can someone tell me the sole reason or the sole purpose of the phone call to be exact? Can you put it in the chat? Can you tell me what's the sole reason of the phone call? Okay, Jonathan, get the listing. To get the appointment, that was, who was that? Who was that? Let me see. That was Leo. Yeah, get an appointment. Stephanie, to get the appointment. Gail, get the appointment. To get the client. Okay, get information, voice recognition, introduction for appointment, start a conversation. Okay, all of those are right, but I'm gonna narrow it down for you. The purpose of the phone is to only make the appointment. So some of you were right. That's it. You don't handle objections. You don't talk about commission. You do not do anything at all unless you don't handle anything aside from just making the appointment. Example, the seller tells you, how much should you charge? How much is your commission? Hey, Mr. Seller, look, I don't like discussing numbers over the phone. But I told you this, though. I would definitely work within your budget. Will you be available tomorrow to meet? That simple. You're not giving him you're not telling him no, that you're not gonna tell him. You tell him that you're gonna work within his budget, right? So you're telling him that you're willing to negotiate, right? But you don't want to do it over the phone, because the truth of reality is that if you start having that objection over the phone, you become a commodity. So what is the seller gonna do? The seller is gonna, okay, so this guy charges 5, and then he's gonna get another phone call, and another guy's gonna tell him, oh, I charge 4. He's gonna go with the 4 guy. You will never get the appointment. You won't even get the opportunity to meet the guy. Okay, so don't get into the trap. The phone is simply to make the appointment. So it goes something along this way. Now, this script, understand that I have a coach. This coach is from Detroit. In Detroit, they act differently. Miami is becoming like New York. People are just assholes. There's no other way for me to say it, right? So we need to change the script a little bit, okay? So line number 1 says hi and the name. So hi, John, right? Look how I'm not asking how are you, okay? Because the truth of reality, guys, and I'm sorry to say this so harsh, I don't care how the person is. So why am I asking how they're doing? I don't know them. They're not a family member. So whether they're alive or they're dead, it sounds harsh, but I don't care. Like that question of how are you, or how's the weather, or that's just very tacky, very gimmicky. It just and people are catching on. When you start telling people how are you, this is a cold call. This guy's gonna sell me something. Okay? So I would not ask a seller how they're doing, unless after you meet them once and you have a connection with them, or there has already been an initial meeting, maybe then. But on the first phone call, it's very gimmicky. So, and the truth of reality is that you don't care. So whether they tell you they're bad, so let's talk about that. So if they tell you, oh man, I'm doing bad, okay. Oh, I'm doing good, okay. I mean, it's just, it doesn't break the ice anymore. It doesn't make you more comfortable in the conversation, because it's been repeated so many times that it's the initial tactic of a phone call, or of a cold call. So don't do that. So be right to the point, ask him where you're calling, and get that appointment. It's that simple. Pop, 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 3 steps. That's it. So number 2, we're gonna completely wipe that line out. Because if you start saying, this is Pablo, I'm a local realtor, and I'm not sure now it's the right time, but I was hoping to tell you why I was calling. And then you can decide if we should continue or not. Fair enough? Click. That's exactly what's going to happen. So you're not going to say that. Remember, when you have a coach and when you get the scripts, you have to adapt to the state that you're in or to the city that you are in. You have to adapt it. You have to change it. So I don't say that at all. So I need you guys to write down, if you can, exactly what I say. Okay? So I say, hey, John, this is Pablo. I'm a local realtor. I'm calling for the property you're selling by owner. Is it still available by chance? Okay? Right to the point. I don't ask how are you. I tell them what I'm calling for. After that, they're going to tell you yes. Okay? So line number 3, also delete. You're not going to ask that. And line number 4 as well. So this is just an example. And I'm putting this as an example because I just need you to see what scripts you're going to find online and what the truth of reality is. So instead of me sending you a script, I'm going to have you write it down because these are scripts that you're going to write down and you're going to memorize. So the fact that you're going to write it down or type it down, it's going to stick in your mind. So again, hey, John, my name is Pablo. I'm a local realtor. I am calling for the property you're selling by owner. Is it still available by chance? Okay. So they're going to tell you yes. At that moment, you're going to ask the following question. John, I was just curious. Are you open to working with a realtor that brings you a fully qualified buyer? John, I'm just curious. Are you open to working with a realtor that brings you a fully qualified buyer? Some sellers or some for sale by owners will not understand that. So they'll be like, no, I'm not willing to work with any realtor. Say it again. Okay, John, so we can be on the same page. If I were to bring you a buyer that's interested in your property and is fully qualified, you wouldn't entertain a deal at that moment. You wouldn't work with me. Because the way sometimes that question is asked, it may seem like you're trying to get the listing. So if they seem confused about the question, just make sure you make it a little bit more clear. Are you willing to pay me commission if I bring you a buyer? Okay. After that, they're probably going to say yes. So the next question, one second. So the next question after that is going to be, okay, great. Look, John, I'm going to be passing by your area. I was planning on checking out properties just like yours, and I was wondering if I can stop by. How is tomorrow around 3 and 4, or the following day? I'm also available between 12 and 1. Which day works best for you? Don't give them an option to answer. Don't say, or don't ask when are you available. Give them an option, either tomorrow or today or the following day. Give them an option, okay? So that way they have to pick one of those or tell you another day, right? So let's go from the top because I want you guys to get it, okay? Hi, John. My name is Pablo. I'm a local realtor. I'm calling for the property you're selling by owner. You can ask, is it available by chance? Or just leave it right there. If they just listed yesterday, just leave it right there. Because you're not going to ask, is it available by chance if they just listed the property in Zillow 12 hours ago. Okay? So it's by owner. Okay, great. Look, John, so we can be on the same page. I was just wondering if you're willing to work with a realtor that brings you a buyer. Yes, I'm willing to pay 2%. Okay, great. Look, John, I'm gonna be around your area. My office is near you, and I'm gonna check other homes around the area, and I would love to check your home as well. Would you be available tomorrow at 5, or does Saturday at 12 work better for you? And then you let them answer. Some of them are gonna tell you, do you have a buyer? The answer is always yes. Yes, I do have buyers. I don't have a buyer for this specific property, but the goal for me to pass by to your home is not to try to sell you my services, because I fully understand that you are trying to sell it by owner, but to identify myself with the property and potentially match a buyer with a home. Will you be available tomorrow at 5? You see how that goes? He asked me a question, which is an objection. I answered the question, and I followed with the appointment again. Every answer you give a for sale by owner via the phone, you are going to end it up with asking the appointment. always. Because if you leave, let's run that again. You have a buyer? Look, John, no, I don't. I don't have any specific buyer for this property. What I understand, you're selling the home by owner. So my purpose is not to go to the property and sell you my services. My goal is to identify myself with the home. And from there, I can get to work and try to match a buyer with the home. What do you think is going to happen after that if you cut there? You give him an option to back out. You give him an option to say anything else that's going to throw you off. Ask for the appointment. So when you, let's say you ask for the appointment, okay, great. Okay, look, I'm going to be showing it around 12 and 3 tomorrow. And at that moment you say, great, that works for me. I'll see you tomorrow between 3 and 4. Okay. During that call, you can also ask for the email. You can be like, hey, John, I'm going to be sending you a calendar invite. What is the best email for you? That's actually what I do recommend for you to do, because if you can get their email, you can send them stuff. If you can get their email, then you get a little bit more than the other realtors that call. So again, hey, John, 4 p.m. works great for me tomorrow. What's the best email for you typically? I would love to send you a calendar invite. They give you the email, boom, boom. And then you say, I'm going to text you my information, John. I'll circle back with you an hour before I start heading out to make sure that we're still good for the appointment. And I hope to see you tomorrow. You'll have a great day. That's it. That's the script. It's that simple. Sometimes it gets more difficult. Sometimes the for sale by owner is very, it's rude or very short. Sometimes you also have to match their personalities. So you have to, if they're the type of personality that wants to talk fast, or they have a tonality that is fast, match their tone. I'm Hispanic. So the good thing about me is that if somebody speaks to me in Spanish and they're Cuban, pues yo le meto ahí, tú sabes, una tremenda conversación con acento cubano. And then they identify with me, right? So you want to make sure that you kind of just match their tone a little bit, or if you can, obviously. So that's the script, okay? So before we move on, I want to run the script with one of you. Don't worry, I'm going to be the realtor. You're going to be the for sale by owner. So can someone be a volunteer?
This is
Hold on, guys. At the same time. Leo?
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Hey, Leo. So are you from? I think you're from New York, no? No.
No, Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Leo, is your Leo just Leo or Leonardo?
Leonardo. Everybody calls me Leo. Either way.
Okay. My son's name is Leo. That's why I asked.
Oh.
Okay. So, Leo. So let's keep it simple. Don't try to make it too hard on me. Okay. Not because I can't handle it, but because I want the rest of the group to see how the whole entire script gets through. So be easy on me, give me the appointment. Don't try to give me any objections in this conversation, just so I can get the script through and that everybody else can listen to me. Fair enough?
All right, let's do it. Let's see.
So I'm going to say ring, ring. You're going to say hello. Okay?
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Leo.
Yes? Who's this?
Hey, this is Pablo. I'm a local realtor. Hey, I know you're getting a bunch of calls, but I'm calling for the property you're selling by owner. I was wondering if it's still available by chance.
Yeah, it's still for sale.
Okay, great. So, Leo, so we can be on the same page. Are you willing to work with a realtor at this moment of the transaction or the sale that brings you a fully qualified buyer?
You have a buyer?
I do not have a buyer at this moment. I do work with a lot of buyers in your area, and I'm also a mortgage lender, which I qualify buyers. So I do have a list of buyers that I can target to. But the purpose of me going to the home, Leo, is just so I can identify myself with the property. It's not to sell you my services. I fully understand that you're selling the property by owner, and selling you my services at this moment or try to list the property will be a waste of time. So actually the reason why I'm calling is because I'm going to be checking out properties around you tomorrow, actually later today around 5 or tomorrow around 12. And I would love to check out your home, Leo, So I was wondering if you'll be available today or tomorrow so I can pass by.
I mean, I'll be available either way, today or tomorrow, either day. I just want to make sure that you are bringing a buyer. You can come.
So we can be clear, Leo, I'm not going to be bringing a buyer. I'm going to take just 10, 15 minutes of your time. I need you to understand I am not in any way interested in sitting down with you, showing you my services, trying to get the listing. Is just simply so I can see the home in person. Right now, there's a lot of inventory in the market. Enough market properties like yours are proven to be easier to deal with. So my goal is to match a buyer with your home after I see it. There's a lot I can do after I see a property in person. So would it be fair for me to pass by maybe tomorrow, today at 5? Would that be okay?
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Okay, Leo, perfect. So I'll send you my information, Leo, via text, and I would love to actually send you a calendar invite. So what is the best email for you typically?
Oh, Leo Morelli at AT&T.com.
Phenomenal. Okay, I'll send you that information, and Leo, look, if anything changes on your end, I promise you I'll do the same. Just give me a call. We can reschedule or cancel. Just if anything comes up, I'll let you know, okay?
Okay, Pablo, sounds good.
Okay, Leo, see you later.
All right, later.
That's it. Okay? Statistically, great job, Leo. Thank you, man. Statistically, you want to get this for sale by owners the moment they list, right? Because the longer you wait, the more calls they get, the more annoying they're going to get. Or the more annoyed they're going to get by realtors. So you want to make sure you catch them between 1 or 3 days after they list, because that's when you're going to get the appointment. Remember, these people, they just list the property. They're super excited. They're next to their phone. They pick up every call, but within the first 3 days. After 3 days, is statistically speaking, it's just, how can I say this? They're more hesitant because they heard all the scripts at that moment. There's realtors that have gone to the house and try to sell the services, and it becomes like a lie type of thing. So you want to call them and you want to say just what the same way that Leo and I had that conversation. It's how it happens, exactly like that, exactly. Okay. There's also another step which we'll get to that in a minute. But before we get there, I want to role play with 2 other people. Now, the next role play, so you can be prepared, and it's okay if you mess up. I'm going to be the for sale by owner. You are going to be the realtor, and I'm going to be easy on you. Trust me. During this call, I'm not going to have you handle any objections. I want you to look good. Don't worry. Okay? So, who's down to do a role play with me?
This is Gail. I
I'll
can.
try it.
Okay, who's that? Who am I talking to?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. Okay, Gabrielle. Perfect. So, again, were you able to write the script when I told you? Did you type it down or write it down?
Yes, I wrote a little of it down, but yes, I did write some of it down.
Okay, so you
Hold on.
wanna? Okay.
Yes, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So, would you like me to go over the script before we start?
Yes, please.
Okay. So it's gonna go, hey John, or whatever the person's name is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a local realtor. I'm calling for the house you're selling by owner.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you're willing to work with a realtor that brings you a buyer. I'm going to be passing by and seeing properties around yours, and I was wondering if I can take a look at yours in person. Would you be available today at 5 or tomorrow at 2?
Okay. Let me just try to
You want to give it a shot?
yeah, I'll just give it a shot. I didn't get a chance to write all of it down, but I'll just give it a shot.
Okay, let's do it. So I'm gonna say ring ring, and then I'm gonna say hello, and then remember, you're the realtor. You're trying to get the appointment. You're trying to go see me. I'm gonna be really, really easy with you, Gabriela. Okay. So
Okay.
ring ring. Hello.
Hi, John, or I'm sorry, whose name? Oh, Pablo. Okay,
Pablo.
let's start
Yeah.
over again. Okay, I had.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Ring ring. Hello.
Hi, Pablo. How are you? Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm Gabrielle, a local realtor in the area, and I see that you have a house for sale by owner. So I'm calling to just ask if I bring you a buyer, are you willing to work with a realtor?
Yes, actually, I'll be willing to pay you to pay the realtor that brings the buyer 2.5%.
Okay. Do you have time today or tomorrow between 3 and 4 that I can maybe stop by and view the properties to look to see what buyers I have that will be available?
Yeah, absolutely. I will definitely show you the property.
Okay. So what time is good for you? 3 or 4?
What day?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 3 or 4. That works. I'm gonna be home. I'm home all day. I work from home, so that works perfectly fine for me.
Okay, well, great. I'll see you tomorrow at 4.
Awesome. See you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Great. No worries. You did great. You did great. So obviously, the first time it's a little bit intimidating. Okay. It's completely normal. Trust me, I get that all the time. I mess up all the time. I just need you to think about this, Gabriela. The person in front of you or on the phone doesn't know you. Okay.
Mhm.
The truth of reality is that if you mess up or you choke up, just hang up and call the next one. It's that
Oh,
simple. No one is going to tell you anything. I like actually sometimes cold calling in my own home so that way I don't have anyone listen to me and I don't have like secondhand embarrassment if I mess up, right?
okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, look, it's okay. I sometimes get scared too, but guess what? Let's do a scare. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It gets better little by little after a while. So
Mhm.
your script was completely fine. Obviously, you need some rehearsal, some practicing. I
Yes.
just threw it at you, so I didn't expect you to be perfect. You did phenomenal. So,
Mhm.
well, that's the point. That's the point. It's just to get the appointment, and you see sometimes when we ask, "How are you?" And I know you made a comment about that. You caught yourself.
Mhm.
When we say "How are you," we don't even let the other person answer. Have you noticed that? So sometimes we're like, "Hey, Gabriela, how you doing? Look, I was calling," and you don't let the
Oh,
person,
yeah.
you know.
Right. Uh-huh.
So that's why don't just completely delete it from your vocabulary. Like, don't ask
Mm.
how they are. Go right to the point. I want to see your home. I want to get in front of you, and that's it. Okay. But great job.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. I need someone else. Come on. One more. One more.
Hey, this is Gail. I'm ready to go.
What's up, Gail? All right, let's do it. So, same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing with you. Do you have the script in front of you? Were you able to write it down?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna say ring ring. I'm gonna say hello, and you do your thing. Brief, easy. We're just having a conversation. Okay.
Okay.
Ring ring. Hello.
Hi, Pablo. This is Gail. I'm a local realtor. I'm calling about the house that you're selling for sale by owner. Is it still available?
Yes, it's still available.
Oh, that's great. Well, I was just calling to ask if I bring a buyer to you, would you be willing to pay the commission?
Yes, I'm paying 2% on anyone that brings me a buyer.
That sounds great. Well, guess what? I'll be in your area this afternoon and I'd love to come by. I'm just checking out properties in the area and I wanted to identify myself with your property. So will you be available today around 4 or tomorrow around 5?
We can do today around 4. I'm gonna be home if you like to pass by.
That sounds great. Listen, I will send you a calendar invite. What's the best email for you?
So that is pablo@gmail.com.
Okay, got it. And I'll also text you my information so that if anything comes up, you can call me and let me know. All right. My goal is to match your home with buyers that I work with.
Phenomenal.
All
Phenomenal.
righty. Thank you.
I actually have nothing to tell you. You did great.
Okay.
That's it.
All
so,
right.
but that's how that goes. That's exactly how it is. Yes, sometimes they're going to give you some objections. Yes, they're going to throw things at you that you may not know how to answer at a certain point. That's totally okay. Okay, you learn from those mistakes, right? We don't know it all. We don't have the answer to everything, right? But what you just did right now is exactly how it goes. Especially if it's a brand new for sale by owner that you just call them at 8 a.m. They listed within like 10 hours. You're going to get the appointment 10 out of 10. Okay. Now, and great job, Gail. Phenomenal job. So now I want to, because I know you are all, if you've been in this business, maybe some of you are new, but if you've been in this business, you're going to start asking your question, Pablo, but what happens when you go to the property? What are you going to do? Like, yes, you want to get the listing, but you just said that you're not interested in listing the property now. Or okay, everything is not as it seems. The reason why that script is the way that it is just simply for you to get the appointment. And number two, the face-to-face appointment changes absolutely everything. Okay? A little story. So I was targeting for sale by owner. This guy had listed the property, and I called him. I made the appointment, and the guy, there was some misunderstanding on the time. So I called them an hour before the appointment. I'm like, hey, look, there must have been a misunderstanding. I'm not going to be there at that time. Can we push it to later today? And then I was like, look, my last appointment is going to be around 6:30. It's going to be 7 p.m. You might be, you told me you're showing the property every hour. So you probably may be tired. So would you like to maybe reschedule for the following day? The guy answers me like this, in part of my French. He goes, I don't know who the fuck you are to tell me how tired I am. I am a 6'2" tall ass motherfucker, and no one tells me what to do. That's his exactly response. And I'm like, okay. Then I guess I'll see you later at 7. so I was debating whether or not I was gonna go because that kind of took me out of my comfort, right? That response was not normal. So, but then I decided to go, right? I did bring my gun just in case. So I go to the property. He opens the door, and this is my reaction. Okay, so he opens the door, and I'm like, "Damn, you are a tall ass motherfucker." So he automatically laughed. I broke completely the ice. He actually ended up inviting me inside the house. We talked about baseball. He made me some coffee, and he listed the property. It was a 1.2 million property in Calusa, Canada. Okay? The phone doesn't matter. They are tired. They are getting calls left and right. It's just think about you that put yourself in their shoes for 1 second. Because the truth of reality, and let's just be honest, let's take our license, our realtor hat out. If any of us had a property, we would try to sell it by owner. Why would I want to hire a realtor and pay more money? Now that's against our business, so that's not what we sell. I believe that yes, for sale by owners, sell the property at least 13 to 80% of what the actual value is. The only people that can sell property for top dollar with maximum marketing are us realtors. But selling a property is not rocket science. And you can't tell a seller that. You cannot. The realtors that go in and try to shame the for sale by owner, telling him that this is difficult, you can't do it on your own, what are you doing, your marketing sucks. That's the fastest way to not get the listing. Tell them that they can. Tell them, hey man, I have no doubt that you're going to sell the property on your own. No doubt. Okay? So when you play it like that, I actually have gotten listings where the seller tells me you were the only realtor that told me that I could sell this property on my own. That's the reason I hired you. Because why would I tell him no? I'm not a car salesman, but I can sell a car. I can Google it, I can get the title, I can sell it, I can get the money, I can sell it. Right? So why is different? Why is the house different? Because it's a bigger asset? No, it's the same thing. At the end of the day, once the property is under contract, the title company handles pretty much everything. And as a seller, if you have an attorney, your attorney handles absolutely everything. You don't really need a realtor to sell a home. We are a tool to be able to sell the property for highest value. That's it. You need to understand that. You're not a magician. You're not going to sell a property just because you have a license. The truth of reality is that most realtors have no idea what they're doing, and they probably know less than the person that they're representing to sell their home. It's sad, but it's true. So, you know, sorry, I got a little harsh there, but it's the truth, guys. I mean, we have to be honest with ourselves. If you think that you are the best of the best and that the seller cannot sell the property without you, he's not going to list with you. I can guarantee you that. Don't shame the client. So when you get to the property, okay, the purpose of the face-to-face appointment is to build rapport. You're not going to get the listing the first day you meet them. It happens. I've gotten those where I meet them the first time and they're like, Pablo, we like you, let's sign. It has happened. Once, twice, three times, it has happened. But the truth of reality is that you are not going to do that. Let me ask you, who's the last person I spoke with? Gail. If you can unmute yourself. Not sure if you're listening.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
No problem, Gail. Let me ask you this, and I just want everybody to hear this. Gail, I'm on Tinder. You're on Tinder, right? We see each other. We swipe right. I invite you to a date. We go to dinner. In that dinner, I bring a ring and I ask you to marry me. You met me that day. Will you say yes? You're muted. I hope the answer is
No,
no.
I would say no.
All right. I'm telling you this because why would the for sale by owner tell you yes and sign the same day? It's the same
Mm.
thing. He doesn't know you. He
Mm.
doesn't know your sales. He has no idea who you are. So what are you doing? Bringing a listing agreement, listing presentation the first day you meet them. It's not gonna happen. Like that's false reality. All right. The only reason why you go to the appointment is to see the home, exactly what you need to do, and you plant the seed. Right? You plant the seed, you let them know, hey, listen, you try to find some rapport. The best thing you can do is that if you find a hobby, like if he has the same interest as you, just talk about that. Don't talk about the house. Just talk about that. Build rapport. So I have clients that they play golf. We're talking about golf. We never talk about the house. Well, guess what? Next time I call them, they're gonna know who I am because we spoke about golf. Right? So that's what you want to do. Now, while you're walking through the house, you want to ask several questions. And you say something like this: hey John, what's the reason for selling? What are your plans after you sell? You want to know what's going on there, right? You want to know what the reason is, what's the motivation for them to get the property on the market and get it sold, right? So you ask him that just for your knowledge. You see the property, you have some chit chat, and then at the end, this is what you do. Make sure you leave something, some type of presentation, right? Not just a business card. I mean, let me show you guys my presentation so you guys can see it real quick. Okay, So this is my presentation. So I make this into a booklet, right? So it's a little book, a spiral booklet, and I leave that with them. So this is called Your Home Sold for Its Highest Value, has my logo and my website. Then it's a resume, a little bit about myself. So, managing partner, top producer, mortgage loan originator, certified divorce expert. I'm partnered with Lifestyle Title. So I include all the stuff with my licenses and everything I have. A little description about the Gomez Group and my team, a picture of my whole team, mission statement, my commitment to you, my marketing plan of action from the moment they sign all the way to the property gets sold, photography compared to the market and my photography, the listing process from number one, the moment they sign, all the way until they close, so they can have realistic expectations, my no risk program, flexible commission program, and my testimonials. Okay, so I do that and I leave that with them because I want them to have something from me. You can do it differently. You can do whatever you want. You can do be creative with it. Do boxes. Do, I don't know, a little candle, whatever you want that has your information. Leave something with them so they can remember you by. Don't bring comparables. Don't bring an agreement. Don't bring a pre-listing package. Don't bring any of that. Have it in your car, but don't bring it out. Okay? So when you're in the appointment and you're about to walk to the door, hey, John, look, I know you're going to be able to sell this property on your own. Hopefully, you never need help from a realtor. The only reason why you will need help from a realtor is if you need more exposure and you have, any 30 to 60 days on the market and nothing is happening. So at that moment, what you want to do right when you walk out the door, you want to give them your value proposition, what it is that you offer if they were to hire you. That's how you plant the seed. So you say something along the lines, hey, John, look, I know you're never going to get here. Okay. Hopefully you never do. Hopefully the property gets sold. But in the case that you do, here's what I have to offer. And I feel very bad living here without telling you this. Look, I offer a very flexible commission program, meaning that we want to put money in your pocket, not in mine. Um, I don't tie you to a long-term contract. You can cancel with me at any time. I only get paid when I sell the property. Okay. When if you ever get to that moment, we'll set up a meeting. We'll talk about what I can do to sell your property, go over the numbers to see if it makes sense for then at that moment for you and I to work together. Fair enough? Okay, John, thank you for showing me your house, and then you leave. That's it. You just plant the seed. There's nothing else. After that, you're gonna get the for sale by owner to sign in the follow-up. Okay? So let's get back to the scripts, because before we go to the buyers are the fastest one. They're super easy. That's why I'm leaving them to the end. But I want to show you the script that you use to get the listing appointment. Because the other one, the first one was a preview appointment. The listing appointment is the one that matters. And let me see if there are questions. One second, guys. Scripts. Okay.
Hey, I had a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I was seeing your listing presentation, and it looked nice and stuff, but like, what would be your advice to someone who is like starting out with no like sales or experience? Like, how can I create one, kind of like that?
Lifestyle has one,
Okay.
a generic one. What office are you with, Aaron?
Kendall.
Oh, you're with Kendall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna text you my number. Let me put it in the chat right now.
Perfect.
So that way, DM me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, text me. Because what I'll do is that I'll forward you my PowerPoint listing presentation. And you want me to be honest to answer your question straight up?
Yeah, just tell me.
Make that shit up. No one is gonna check it. No one is going to read the whole thing. You just want to leave something with them. It doesn't matter what you
Okay.
list. Okay.
Okay.
So just make it up. Okay.
Okay.
Let me give you the
Gotcha.
number. 366. I started just like you, man. I've had this presentation. So if you guys have heard of Brandon Burnellen, he's famous. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah. I always look at his videos. I kind of learn from him.
He's my coach.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
I know him personally. I've flown to Detroit several times. I met his wife, met his kids. I know him personally.
he's a
Okay,
cool guy.
he's a very cool, chill guy, right?
What's his name
He's
again?
the one that. I'm sorry,
I'm sorry, Pablo. What's his name again? Your coach?
Brandon Morlenin, I think. It's Brandon M. If you look up for sale by owner script in YouTube, actually, let's do it right here. Look, if you look
Yeah,
in
he's
YouTube,
like the first guy that pops up.
it's the first guy that pops up. Let's just do it right now. Sorry, guys, there's a bunch of workout stuff. Let me see. A for sale by owner scripts. Watch this. Should be the first one. Boom. This is him right here. It's extremely famous. Actually, his script is the one I'm using right now. Look at the logo of his shirt. Look
Yeah.
at the logo of his shirt and look at my script. What up? It's the same logo. He's my coach. So the reason why the agent that I am today is because of him. The presentation that I just showed you, Aaron, is his. He gave me the PowerPoint. I customized it to my own. Well, the mission statement, the action plan, all of that is his. His marketing people did that for me.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's why I'm willing. Just text me and I'll email you the PowerPoint so you can just mix and match. It's very easy to use. And that's also in just a little parenthesis there. Guys, the best thing you can do for your business, the best thing you can do for your business
Chat
is,
GPT.
is I'm sorry?
Chat GPT.
Well, yes, but it's to hire a coach, actually. Early in my career, so Brandon has a lot of free stuff in YouTube. So during
Mm-hmm.
COVID, which is 2020 is when I got my license. I got my license 2019, but it was end of 2019. I looked at this guy Brandon. I'm like, bro, I like the way he talks. Like, I really enjoy the way he talks. I think this may work. So I started using his script. He was very cheap at that moment because he was starting. He was starting. He was getting fame right. Right now he's extremely freaking expensive. I've been grandfather in where I can afford it, but he's super expensive. He doesn't do real estate anymore. He just does coaching and lending. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
So I looked at his free stuff and I made a promise to myself. I'm like, I'm gonna use the scripts, and the first deal that I close, I'm gonna use to hire him as my coach. That's exactly what I did. I closed 2 deals with the script for so by owners. They listed with me. I sold them, and I used the chunk of money that I made, which was around like 30, 40 grand or something like that. And I invested back into my business and I hired a coach before I even opened a team or got an assistant or did any of that. Actually, I recommend all of you that if you are going, the first person you should hire is not an assistant, it's a coach. Better yourself before you start delegating. It's my opinion. Because if you better yourself, if you develop your skill here, then everything else just becomes easier, right? Now, make sure that you pick a coach that's a good coach and that can show you sales, that can show you a track record. Don't be picking a coach that doesn't do real estate anymore and it's just all about the flex and just wants to get your money. That's the worst. That's the biggest mistake. Pick
Would
a
you
good coach.
recommend picking a coach in the broker or not?
It depends. So this is what I would do. So when you buy a car, right, you want to know everything about that car. When you buy something that you like, you want to know everything about that. So when you hire a coach, dig in and ask him questions. Hey man, can you show me your sales? Can you show me how many listings you have? Can you show me how many deals you've closed in the last 12 months? If he can't show you that, or if he feels offended by you asking those questions, that's not the coach you want. You want somebody else. It's that simple. If you were to hire me as your coach and you ask me those questions, Pablo, I'll show you in 5 minutes everything. I'm an open book. You can see whatever, like what, because I'm completely afraid of being called a hypocrite. So why am I going to tell you to do these things, right? And I have to lead by example. I do with my own kids. I have to lead by example. So today, before the training, I went to the park. I was working out with them, and I'm like, I want to make sure that they see me working out because I want them to work out. I want them to be healthy, right? So if I want to do that, they have to see dad working out every single day. Lead by example. So if you hire a coach, make sure you can actually see, physically see that he is who he is. Okay. So let me see here. Okay. So the script, the appointment script, so when you meet with the for sale by owner, you planted the seed, you follow up. Follow up is easy. If you got their email, so you get their email either in the initial conversation or at the appointment. Okay. So you are going to follow up on Monday, see how the weekend went for them. You're going to give them a call. Hey, John, how was the weekend? How's the open house? If you did an open house, is everything good? Okay, great. Just wanted to find out. I'm still working to find you a buyer. Talk to you later. Boom, done. Wednesday, you're going to set them up in MLS for a market report. You're going to send them for the last 30 days of active, pendings, closed, and active with contract. Because I want them to find out from you what's going around their area instead of going to Zillow. You want to be the realtor before they hire you. Okay? And on Friday, you send them a text. Hey, John, I hope everything goes great over the weekend. I'll be available. I'll be available in the case that you need any help with any contracts or anything like that. Take care. That's it. And then on Monday, you call them again. You do that maybe for 1 to 2 weeks. On week number 3, you start playing with their psychology. Okay? You start playing with their mind. And you start, you want to then shoot the question to now get the appointment. I'm going to show you how you do that. And I think it's here. Where are you? I think it's in the new script, but I'll dictate it to you guys. Let me actually remove this. I'll go slow so you guys can write it down. So on week number 3, you call them. You say, hey, John, have you got any offers? He's going to tell you no. You're going to be like, okay, well, look, it's been 3 weeks, John. Okay. And look, I know that we haven't worked together. We just met once. We don't really know each other yet. But would it be completely ridiculous, John, if you invite me over sometime this week? And while I'm there, I'll show you exactly what I can do to show you to get your property sold. And only if it makes sense at that moment, we can decide whether or not working together makes sense. At the end of the day, it's still your house. So if you don't like what I have to say, you can always just kick me out. So will you be available maybe on Thursday at 5, where I can pass by and just show you what I can do to get your property sold? No commitment. Just, I'll give you a few pointers, tell you what I can do, and only if it makes sense, we can get going with potentially working together. So those 5 work tomorrow. That's the script. I'll say it again so we can go slow. So you guys can write it down. Hey, John, look, I know we don't know each other, and I am not sure whether or not it makes sense for us to work together. But would it be completely ridiculous for you to invite me over sometime this week? While I'm there, I'll show you exactly what I do to get properties like yours sold. And if everything makes sense at that moment, you and I can decide whether working together makes sense. Fair enough? And that's the script. Then shoot for the appointment. At that moment, when you ask that question, you have already met them. You have already spoken with him several times. You send them pieces of emails of information that are valuable to a person. And now you put him in a position that he may owe you something. And what he owes you is to give you a listing presentation appointment. Now, After he says yes, and you put it in the calendar, that is a listing presentation. Okay, so at that moment, you want to make sure you prep comps, contracts, everything. I have a listing presentation training. This is literally the beginning, this training that we're doing now, and then it follows with the listing presentation. So I'm sure it's been recorded. I don't know if it's in school, but after you practice the script, this is how you connect it. The listing presentation that I showed, that I presented, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, ties in with this question. Would it be completely ridiculous for you to invite me over? And while I'm there, I'll show you what I can do to show you. It's that question that creates the listing appointment. And that listing appointment, you need to understand how it's going to go. You need to prepare for it. Okay? Any question before moving to the buyer real quick? The buyers are going to take me 5 minutes tops. I know we're over the hour, so just give me 5 more minutes of your time and we'll knock it out. But any questions about the seller part?
Question, but what I'm getting, Pablo, obviously this is kind of like a not long, I wouldn't say long term, but you're not really shooting for, it's very planned. You're not very shooting for the first appointment to get a signature. It's like a 3-week, 4-week thing that you have planned.
Correct. Because if you're calling specifically for sole by owner, Leo, they're not going to list. Like there's people that overqualify the client or the for sale by owner or the prospect by overqualifying, by thinking that they're going to get the appointment. Oh, but if I were to go there, would you be open to, signing some? No, man, it's just, remember, there's people you're calling them out of the blue. If you're getting a referral, and for example, if you get a referral of a person that wants to sell their property, okay, there you go, full throttle. You do your listing presentation because it's a referral. They're already calling you to go meet them for a listing appointment. When you call it for sale by owner, it's like what I asked Gail. If a person asks you to marry them the first day you met them, they're gonna say no. Why would they do business? Like you have to ask yourself that question. Why would John hire me as a realtor? And if you can't answer that question, why would they hire you? It's that simple. So sometimes we don't even know how to. Why am I worth 10 grand? What am I actually going to do to actually get this person's property sold? Or am I just going to wing it just because I'm money hungry and I want and I want the commission? So we have to ask ourselves, am I actually the right person to sell this property? Because I'm not going to get them all, right? So yes, to answer your question, Leo, most of your deals are going to be obtained via the follow-up. Deals are not created at the first meeting. Deals are created at the follow-up. Every deal, not only for sale by owner. You may have a person that may be interested in selling, right? You meet them, but they're not ready to pull the trigger at that moment. What are you going to do? Follow up. You get the person at the follow-up. Okay? So I hope that answers the question, Leo. Let me see. I do have another.
Absolutely. And then before you go, you say that, I saw the presentation, what you leave behind, obviously, is very impressive. But you also mentioned that you can leave anything like a business card. I don't know. In my opinion, I'm looking at that and I'm like, wow, if I'm the homeowner and you leave, you say bye-bye, you leave that behind, I'll be like reading that whole thing, maybe going on your website and be like, oh man, this guy, he knows exactly what he's doing. A business card, I don't know, I might be like, oh, he was cool, and just put it away.
Right. I agree. That's why I created that booklet. So or I didn't create it. No, I had somebody create it for me. So yeah, I wanted to be different. So look, somebody said, I think it was Aaron that said about ChatGPT. Yes, at ChatGPT, what are some creative ways to stand out from other realtors when I go to a for sale by owner appointment? Man, there's people that leave a Gucci, one of those green Gucci boxes with like their information inside. There's other people that do the same with like Tom Ford. Some other people leave like a moving box. You can get creative. Just get creative. Don't be the same as the other. Like leaving a business card, they're going to forget you. They're going to lose the business card. right? So yes, make sure that you do something that's custom to you, that makes you stand out from the rest. Okay. Let me see. I have some questions here. Side question: where did you get the residential real estate divorce certification? So Nicole, my certification, I got it through Alumni Institute. There are only 3 here in Miami-Dade. I am one of 3. It is extremely difficult to get in. You have to be a realtor, I believe, for 3 years, or have sold at least 40 to 40 properties. And only 10% of other people that apply get it. I'm not saying that you can't. That's not what I'm saying. But look in Google, Alumni Institute. I actually can send you a link if you text me, if you're interested on it, because I can refer you to them, and you probably either get it for cheaper or something like that. The certification back then was very expensive for me. I think I paid around $13,000 for the certification. I believe right now it's a lot cheaper. I think they charge right now like $5,000 or something like that. But remember, this is a very intense business model. I don't target the people getting divorced. I target the attorneys. It's a business to business model. So my goal is to actually make relationships with family law attorneys, and they appoint me into court orders, and they appoint me into deals. That's actually my bread and butter. Right now, I have 19 listings listed on the MLS, and 80% of them are divorced, just because I'm being appointed to the cases. It's like in the court order. It says Pablo Gomez is to sell the real property. So that's how that works. I wanted to do something different than everybody else. It is a difficult business model. It's not easy, but it's definitely rewarding, because sometimes I charge even 7% in commission for those cases, because they're extremely difficult. Okay.
I'm in
So
St. Louis County, so I don't know if there's a lot of them here or not. So I want to try to see if I can tackle this market.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's only three of us here in Miami. So in Miami-Dade, there's like 4 in Broward. So just text me, and I'll show you the link so you can look it up. Okay.
Thank you.
Rachel, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Is what's the name of the training that we should watch after practicing the scripts? It's called the listing presentation training. Yeah, I record. I think all these trainings are recorded. They should be somewhere. So ask your manager; they'll be able to help you out with that. Okay. Phenomenal. So let's go with the buyers. Buyers are super simple, guys. Very, very simple. Okay. Just want to leave you guys with this. Again, 4 or 5 minutes, we'll knock it down. So you want to ask your buyers realistic questions. You don't want to be a lender, right? You always want to have your partner lender, and any of you that are here, you have my number. If you ever need need me to talk to a buyer, trust me, I'm not gonna steal your client. That's in another training. Somebody told me, "Oh, well, you're a realtor. Why would I trust you with my client?" That's I can tell that realtor was very weak, because if you're scared of me stealing your client, you're a weak realtor. Sorry, it's just the truth of reality. So so I'm not gonna steal your client, guys. I want to help you. As a matter of fact, you may want you want to have a lender that has some realtor experience, because all I want to do is help you out. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna say you're the best realtor. No, she's going to negotiate for you. Blah blah blah. If you ever need me to negotiate for you in the deal and I'm doing the loan, I'm gonna do it, because I want the loan to close. So any moment at any time that you guys need me to like qualify a client, I'm willing to do so. Just give me a call. But I want you guys to have at least the qualifying questions in your mind when you talk to a buyer. Okay? Because a lot of us don't know, and I don't want you to be a lender, but I also don't want you to be like, "Hey, Melissa, how you doing? Okay, you wanna buy a property? Oh, look, I've heard the first process to get approved. Let me go ahead and pass you to the lender." Boom. Like, no, put yourself in a position of being a professional. Ask the questions before you pass it to the lender. And here are the questions. So, John calls you. He wants to buy a property. He's interested in buying a property. Obviously, you're going to ask them, what do they want to buy? What's their criteria? Phenomenal. That's a great question. I want a single family home, 3-2, blah, blah, blah. But can they actually qualify for it? You want to ask tough, qualifying questions. And yes, they may be uncomfortable, but they're buying a house. Like, you don't go to a bank trying to open a bank account without a social security number, or like, you don't. Like, they're going to ask you those questions. Yeah, they're uncomfortable, but they're going to ask you those questions. The same thing when you go to a doctor. They're going to ask you whether you smoke, whether you do drugs, or how much you drink. Like, those are hard questions, but guess what? You're there. You're calling me because I'm the expert. You're calling me because I'm going to help you sell your home. Yes, I'm going to ask you what your credit is. Yes, I'm going to ask you how much you have in savings. And yes, I'm going to ask you how much money you make. Like, those are normal questions. Like, you're buying a house. You're not buying a loaf of bread in Publix. Like if you're afraid of asking those questions, then, I'm sorry, we'll go to 9 to 5. Like we need to. We're professionals here. We're selling property. We are helping buyers and sellers acquire or sell their biggest assets. Okay, this is actually, real estate is how millionaires become millionaires and stay millionaires. So why are we afraid of asking questions? Okay, so here's how it goes. So they call you, they're interested in buying a home. Oh, perfect, John. Look, before I pass you to the lender, I just want to know where we're at. And you can customize this however you want to, build your own script. I'm just going to tell you the questions, however you want to structure it, it's up to you. So, okay, John, so let me just ask you a couple of questions so we can be on the same page. Hey, look, what's your credit like? Okay, they're going to tell you whether it's in the 5s, in the 4s, in the 6s, in the 8s. You're not going to tell them whether they have a good credit or not, or whether they qualify or not. Even if they ask you, oh, do you think that's good? Yeah, I think that's great. Look, at the end of the day, the lender is going to determine that. That's it. You just want to know, and you want to write it down so that way you know what you're dealing with. Then you want to ask, hey, John, look, I know you want to buy a single family home in the area of Kendall, but just wondering, how much do you make a year? You're going to be doing this by yourself, or you're going to be doing this with your wife or a co-borrower? Like, what's the income like? And then they're going to tell you. The third question you're going to ask, okay, John, the last question that I want to ask, well, actually, there's 4 questions. The third question is going to be, how much money do you have saved to purchase property? That's it. How much money? So, what's your credit like? How much you make? How much you have saved? Ask those 3 questions. Guys, I've had conversations with buyers. I promise you that I have conversations with buyers that go like this. What's your credit like? Oh no, my credit is very bad. It's actually, like below 500. Okay. What's your income like? Oh, I didn't report any income in the last 3 years. How's your saving? How much you have money saved? Oh, look, I only have like $5,000 in the bank account. But look, I want a house in Kendall. I want it in Kendall. I want it in West Kendall, actually. I want a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. I want a pool, 2 stories, but I don't make any money. I don't have any savings, and my credit is crap. So you're gonna then make the conversation with the lender. You're gonna give that buyer hope, and then the lender's gonna be, bro, it's a waste of time. You wasted my time. You wasted your time, and you wasted the lender's time. Instead of putting them into a follow-up tactic and explaining to them how these things work, you gave them hope to speak with the lender, and then took it away. What's going to happen afterwards is that they're never going to work with you again. Okay? So you want to make sure you ask this question. They came to you first. They trust you first. Don't let them go through that process and that emotional roller coaster. And the 4th question you want to ask is about timeline. A lot of people think that, they want to buy next year and they're calling you now. Oh no, I was thinking of buying a property maybe November next year. And why are you calling me in February the year before? No, call me by the end of the year, or the beginning of the next. So you want to ask those questions, guys. I mean, you want to know what kind of buyer you have, what kind of deal you have on your hands, because we also tend to waste a lot of time thinking that we have something going on when we have nothing, because we don't ask questions, because we are afraid of asking the important questions. Okay, you always want to have a buyer that has any credit that is above 580, right? You want to have them to have savings, anything between $30,000 to $40,000 to be able to purchase a home here in Florida. And you want them to have a job for the last 2 years. If they're not reporting any income, then why are you talking to me? You can't even buy a car. Like, what are you talking? Like, let's have those questions and entertain them. Now, let's say it goes the other way, because that's very negative, right? Let's say it goes the other way. Oh no, my credit is perfect, 700. Yes, I reported $150,000 in income last year, and I have a 401k. I hope also investment accounts in Robinhood, and I have an extra $50,000 in the bank account. Phenomenal. Make the appointment that day, right? Get his criteria, and start sending them properties, and go with the lender and get them approved, right? So it can also go like that. But guess what? You just ask him questions. When you finish that call, he's gonna be like, damn, no one has ever asked me that. I'm happy that this is my realtor and he's interested in what's going on. And like that, you're gonna learn more. You're gonna keep learning, and you're gonna keep building value for your buyers, because the conversation I have with a buyer, it's not gonna be the same one that you're gonna have with a buyer. I'm a lender. I have lending experience, so I'm gonna ask more questions. I'm gonna be able to tell them, look, the minimum credit that I need is 580. Don't say that. I don't want you to say that. I just want you to write it down and know what you're dealing with. Because then when you talk to your lender partner, they're gonna be like, look, man, I have this buyer, but they're like, pop, 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 pop. What do you think? And he will tell you whether or not it's a good deal. And that way you put yourself in a position of being an expert all around. So won't take much of your time, guys. 2 minutes for questions, if you guys have any.
Hey,
Okay.
this is Gail.
Okay, what's up?
Suppose you have a potential client that has good credit and has some savings, but their timeline is not till next year. Do you enter into a buyer agreement with them? I'm a new agent, so I'm still learning the ropes.
Okay, Gail. Yes. If you feel comfortable having them sign the buyer's agreement, yes. But if you have a buyer that has those qualifications, is just waiting for the tax return, you will want to connect them with the lender now, so that way before they file their taxes, they can speak with the lender, and that lender can get the draft of their taxes and tell them exactly what to do before they file. Because there are certain things that us lenders need to have in an income tax or a 1099, so that is going to help them. There's certain deductions, there's certain reductions on an income tax that need to be there. Some that is good, some that is bad. So my recommendation: have them speak with the lender if they're entertaining to buy a property in the future.
Okay, and if they are not ready to buy till next year, but they meet all the other criteria, do you create a buyer agreement for 1 year?
So I don't do a buyer agreement, Gail. I think that must be a question for somebody that does. I don't believe in the buyer's agreement. I think it's just how can I say this? I don't know how to sell that. I don't feel comfortable selling that. How am I going to tell a buyer to sign with me and exclusively you can only look with me? I have put myself in a position with my clients that the buyers actually come to me. They want to work with me. They don't. It's not a choice. They want to because of my expertise, my negotiation tactics, and the way that I'm able to get deals. Those are the kind of buyers that I actually want to work with. If I have a feeling that I have to sign a buyer's agreement with you just because I don't trust you, then I don't really like working that way. That's why I only work with sellers, because I have to have an agreement signed to be able to sell. So when it comes to the buyers, I don't have them sign that. I wouldn't, maybe perhaps not have them sign an agreement. If I can answer it straight up, I would kind of just have them sign that agreement once they start the process with the lending, because that's a more secure. At least they're already working with your lender, and maybe when they get their pre-approval or they get initial disclosures, you can kind of send that document and have them sign it for a year. That's what I would do. Okay.
Hey, Pablo, quick question. Yeah, do I find the lender at my branch? Like, how does that work?
The what?
Like, where can I find the lender? Do I ask at my branch?
What's your branch?
The Kendall.
I'm your lender, bro. What are you talking about?
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
So yeah, I work with Columbus Capital, and they're partnered with Lifestyle. So Lifestyle is partnered with Columbus Capital. Aaron, didn't I see you at the Columbus Capital? Um,
Dude, I don't think we've ever met, man.
we never met. Oh, you sound so familiar. I'm so
Nah,
sorry.
nah,
So
I don't know.
so Aaron, if you're from Kendall, brother, I'm the manager of Kendall.
Oh,
So
really?
so yes, I'm the one that manages Kendall. Manny and Dennis are the partners. I am the manager. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So any questions at any moment, brother? Again, you have my number. Text me. I'm gonna send you my lending business card. So I don't personally do the loan, so you know. And this is for everyone that's here. Okay. If you're in Miami, this is an option for everyone here. What I do to
Mhm.
help you guys out, to make you grow your business, is that I don't do the loans. I physically don't do it, right? I can have a conversation with your clients because I'm very familiar about the process, but I have a teammate that is the actual boots on the ground. He's the one that actually does the loan. I got my license just to get paid. Okay. Now that money that I get, I share it with you. So every loan that we close, I either give you anything between 25 or 30% of the commission that I make to either help you with marketing or help you with EDDMs or will help you with headshots, CRMs, buying leads, in whatever you want. Those are your marketing dollars. Every loan that you close with me is going to be exactly the same. It's an incentives that I give to you guys so that way you guys can grow your business. Because honestly, I'm not going to become a millionaire doing loans, right? It's just extra money. It's just play money. So I'd rather use that money, give it to you guys so you guys can grow your business and you can keep sending me loans. Okay, so that's how. And aside from that, the service at Columbus Capital is top notch. And if for any reason the rate, right, it's too high for any reason, I have other options. I'm not gonna talk about it here, but I do have other options that may be more beneficial to your client. But I will always go to Columbus Capital. So Aaron, I'm your guy. You have a buyer that needs to get approved. Just give me a call.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else, guys?
Yes, I have a question. I don't know
Yes.
if you guys can hear me. I have somebody that recently reached out and they were interested in a home that I listed, but they are saying to them selling their home. What do I say next?
Freaking great. That's what you want. Okay, so they gotta sell their home, and actually no, but wait, you have the listing?
No, none of them are mine. One is advertised in Miami, and the home that I listed is by another listing agent, and that's in Wellington. And he's asking for the price to be 40,000 less. He's asking to down price it by 40K.
Okay, then never mind. So, do who are you representing? Who is your client?
He would be the buyer,
So the
but he's
buyer that has
selling
the
his
property.
home. Yes,
Okay, and he's selling it with another realtor,
yes, in
and
Miami.
or you're working with him as a buyer.
He just reached out, so I haven't really started yet.
Okay, so there you want to ask straight up. The first thing you want to ask, why? Okay, so I understand that you're calling me. I greatly appreciate it. But why you're not using the realtor you have a listed property? You listed the property. That's a little bit fishy because typically
I thought so
the
too.
yeah, the realtor that's selling the property, it's but don't ask him right like that so dry. Kind of feel them
Okay.
out. See, what's trying to find out and to answer your question. You want the property to be pending before they start looking for properties. So if that other realtor that has it listed has to make the sale contingent of them buying another home. So that way, when you get it on the contract, you start looking for homes and that contract will be your proof of funds, unless they don't need to sell the property to be able to buy a new one. If they do need to sell the property and they need the proceeds of that sale to put it into the new home, then they need to go to wait for the property to go pending, meaning they accept an offer contingent of them buying another home. If they are sending offers or telling you to send offers right now and the property is still active on the market and it has no offers, then you are wasting your time sending offers. I hope that clears the
Okay, that
question.
makes perfect sense. It's definitely still active. No, it did. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
If it's active, it's a waste of time. Because if I'm a listing agent, I receive an offer, and you're gonna get the money that you're gonna make on your sale to you're gonna get the money you get in your sale to be able to buy my home. Then how long am I gonna be on the contract for? So if your property takes 60 days to sell, then I want to be on the contract with you for 60 days. What about the other buyers that I could have marketed to in those?
Yeah.
So no, it's like you're adding another variable into the transaction that can just complicate things. So the property has to be pending.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much.
You're
And then
welcome. You're
I'm
welcome.
sorry, not to add anything weird to it. He gave me the property's address and it didn't match the name that he presented to me. It had like a LLC incorporation. So I had to go on Sunbiz to look up the person who owned the LLC and it wasn't his name particularly.
That can be that's fishy. I will call the listing agent
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
and be like, hey, look, they reached out to me. There has to be a reason why they. It's very weird that someone is gonna call and hire somebody else when their property is listed. It just it at some point those agents are gonna have to communicate. It's just awkward.
Okay.
So there's something going on there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else before we go, guys?
Uh, Sorry, Pablo. Just one more question. Is there any way I can do listings without the MLS or
No.
not? Really? No,
You mean
like
like
on Zillow.
like list them in Zillow and not in the MLS?
Yeah, because right now I don't have the MLS right now. I was gonna do the payment plan.
Okay, so no, because if the only option that you have in the MLS is to be a for sale by owner, you can list a property in Zillow as a for sale by owner if it's not your property, and you're gonna be targeted by realtors to try to get the listing. The only way, I mean, you need to work on getting that MLS as soon as possible because that is your inventory. It's like you're telling me right now you're a car salesman with no cars. So you
Yeah.
need you you need to make sure that you get that first before you even do anything else. That's your inventory. That's your system. You need it 100% before you do anything at all. That's what you provide as a realtor. What right now? What's the difference between you and a for sale by owner? Why wouldn't the for sale by owner or the seller just put it in sale themselves?
Yeah, makes sense.
You know. So yeah, just get it, man. Do the payment plan if you can. Save up for that. Pay it. Do what you got to do. But get that first.
All right, got it.
All right. All right, guys. I'm gonna end the meeting here. Thank you all for staying with me, for listening to me. It's been a pleasure. You guys have my number. Whatever you need, just give me a call. Take care, guys.